It starts so quietly that you barely notice. One day you push yourself up out of your favorite chair, and for the first time in your life, you have to use your hands to do it. Then the stairs start to feel a little steeper. You reach for the railing you never used to need. Getting up off the floor becomes something you genuinely dread, and somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet fear takes hold. The fear of losing your legs, and with them, your freedom, your independence, your ability to live life on your own terms. I want you to hear me clearly today, that weakness in your legs is not simply getting old, and it is not something you have to accept. It has a name, it has a cause, and most importantly, it can be turned around. And a great deal of that turnaround happens not in a gym, but on your plate. I'm Dr. Marcus Okoro, and I'm a heart surgeon. Now you might wonder why a heart surgeon cares so much about your legs. Here is the answer, and it's something most people have never been told. Your leg muscles, especially your calves, act like a second heart. Every time they contract, they squeeze the blood in your legs and pump it back up toward your heart. So when your legs grow weak, it isn't just your walking that suffers. Your whole circulation suffers, and your heart has to work harder. Strong legs are not vanity. Strong legs are longevity. So when I teach you how to rebuild them, I'm really teaching you how to protect your heart and your independence for the years to come. Let me tell you about a patient. I'll call him George, 73 years old, a proud, active man his whole life. George came to me not about his heart, but because he was scared. He told me, "Doc, I'm losing my legs. I can barely get out of a chair. I stopped going for my walks because I'm afraid I'll fall. And last week my daughter started talking about whether I should still be living alone." George thought his body was simply giving out. It wasn't. George was suffering from something incredibly common and almost never explained. And once we changed a few simple things about what he ate, he got his strength and his confidence back. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what we did. Before we go on, 2 quick things. First, tap that subscribe button, because staying strong and on your own 2 feet is something every person over 60 deserves to know how to do. And second, a quick word of safety. If you have kidney disease, the protein advice I'm about to give needs to be adjusted with your doctor, and I'll explain why near the end. Keep that in mind. All right, let's get your legs back. So what is actually happening to George's legs, and maybe to yours? It's a condition called sarcopenia, and that word simply means the loss of muscle that comes with age. Here's the hard truth. Starting around 50 and speeding up after 60, your body begins to lose muscle every single year, and it takes it from your largest muscles first, which are your legs. If you do nothing about it, you can lose 1/3 or more of your leg strength over the years without ever realizing what's happening. It's silent, it's gradual, and almost everyone blames it on age and gives up. But here's the part that gives me hope, and should give you hope too. Your muscles are not gone. They are starving. As we get older, our bodies develop something scientists call anabolic resistance, which means your aging muscles need more protein and better quality protein to rebuild themselves than they did when you were young. And what do most seniors actually do? The opposite. Their appetite shrinks, their meals get smaller, and breakfast becomes a piece of toast and a cup of coffee. So their muscles are sent a starvation signal day after day, and they slowly waste away. Not from age, but from a lack of the building blocks they're begging for. So let's give your muscles those building blocks. Let me show you the 5 best foods to rebuild your leg strength. And the secret about how to eat them, which comes after, matters just as much as the foods themselves. Food number 1, eggs. If there is a perfect muscle food, it is the humble egg. Here's why eggs are so powerful. They contain complete protein, meaning all the building blocks your muscles need. And they are especially rich in one particular amino acid called leucine. Think of leucine as the on switch for building muscle. Your muscles can have all the protein in the world sitting around, but it's leucine that flips the switch and tells your body, start rebuilding now. Eggs are loaded with it. So if your breakfast has been toast and coffee, that is the very first thing to change. 2 or 3 eggs in the morning, cooked any way you like, gives your muscles the strongest possible start to the day. George switched his morning toast for eggs, and within weeks he told me his legs felt steadier. But the next food adds something eggs can't. Food number 2, fish, especially the oily kind like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. Fish gives you that high-quality, leucine-rich protein, just like eggs. But it brings a second gift that's almost magical for aging muscles: omega-3 fats. Here's what the research shows, and it's remarkable. Those omega-3 fats actually help your older muscles respond better to protein. They fight back against that anabolic resistance we talked about, and they calm the low-grade inflammation that quietly eats away at muscle as we age. So fish is like a key that unlocks the door, letting the protein do its job. Aim for a few servings of oily fish a week. It feeds your muscles, and as a heart surgeon, I'll happily tell you it protects your heart at the same time. Food number 3, Greek yogurt and dairy. This one is wonderful because it's easy, it requires no cooking, and it's gentle on an older appetite. Plain Greek yogurt is packed with protein, far more than regular yogurt, and it delivers that muscle-triggering leucine, along with calcium and often vitamin D, both of which your muscles and bones need. A bowl of plain Greek yogurt with a handful of nuts and some berries makes a perfect high-protein snack or breakfast. And here's a tip. A protein-rich snack like this in the afternoon or before bed gives your muscles a steady supply of building material around the clock, instead of one big dump at dinner. Keep that in mind, because it leads directly to the secret I'll share in a moment. Let me pause and ask you something, because I really want to know where you're starting from. Right now, today, can you stand up from a chair without using your hands? Go ahead and try it after this, and tell me in the comments, yes, no, or barely. It honestly helps YouTube share this with more people who need it, and it tells me how many of you I'm fighting for. And don't be discouraged by your answer. That's exactly the number we're going to improve. Now, the last two foods, and then the secret that makes all of them work. Food number 4, beans and lentils. Now, not everyone can eat meat and fish every day. It can be expensive, and some people simply prefer not to. This is where beans, lentils, and chickpeas become your best friends. They are loaded with plant protein and fiber, they're inexpensive, they store forever, and they're easy on digestion. A hearty lentil soup or a bowl of beans is a fantastic, affordable way to feed your muscles. One tip, because plant proteins are a little lower in that key leucine, it helps to eat a good-sized portion and to pair them with a grain like rice, which together give your muscles a more complete set of building blocks. Variety is your friend here. And food number 5, lean meat and poultry. Chicken, turkey, and lean cuts of beef are some of the most concentrated, efficient muscle-building foods on the planet. They deliver a large amount of complete, leucine-rich protein in a small portion, which is perfect for an older appetite that fills up fast. Lean red meat in particular also gives you iron, vitamin B12, and natural creatine, all of which support muscle and energy. You don't need huge portions. A piece of chicken or lean beef about the size of your palm at a meal does the job beautifully. Quality protein in a portion you can actually finish. Now here is the secret I promised you. And honestly, this matters as much as any food on the list. It's not just what you eat, it's how you spread it out. Most people eat almost no protein at breakfast, a little at lunch, and then a big steak at dinner. But your aging muscles can only use so much protein at one sitting. The rest is wasted. So the golden rule is this. Eat a good serving of protein at every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, roughly a palm-sized portion each time. When you do that, you're sending your muscles the rebuild signal 3 times a day instead of just once. This one change, protein at breakfast especially, is the single biggest difference between the seniors who stay strong and the ones who fade. And there's one more piece, vitamin D. Vitamin D is essential for muscle strength, and a huge number of seniors are low in it, which leaves their muscles weak no matter how well they eat. So ask your doctor to check your vitamin D level. It may be the missing key. And let me be honest with you about one more thing, because I won't lie to you. Food rebuilds the muscle, but you have to give that muscle a reason to grow. You don't need a gym. You just need to gently challenge your legs. The simplest exercise in the world is this. Sit in a sturdy chair and practice standing up and sitting down, slowly, a few times in a row. That's it. That chair stand works the exact muscles you use to live independently. Feed your muscles with the protein, then ask them to work a little with a few chair stands a day, and you have the complete recipe. Food plus movement. That is how George did it. Now, 3 warnings before you go, and please take them to heart. First, the one I promised. If you have kidney disease, and if you've been following my videos on creatinine, you know how serious that is. You must talk to your doctor before significantly increasing your protein, because your kidneys may not handle a high protein load well, and the right amount for you needs to be set by your doctor. Second, if your leg weakness came on suddenly, or it's only on one side of your body, or it comes with numbness, pain, or trouble speaking, that is not sarcopenia, and you need to see a doctor right away, because it could signal a nerve problem, or even a stroke. And third, when you start those chair stands, hold on to something sturdy and go slow. We are building you up, not risking a fall. Safety first, always. Let me leave you with George. He didn't take a single new pill. He put eggs back on his breakfast plate. He ate fish a few times a week. He kept Greek yogurt and beans in the house. He spread his protein across all 3 meals, and he did his chair stands every morning while the coffee brewed. A few months later, George walked into my office, and I mean walked, steady and sure, and told me he'd started taking his evening walks again, and that his daughter had stopped bringing up the subject of moving out. He got his legs back, And with them, he got his life back. That can be you. Your muscles are not gone. They are simply waiting to be fed. So start tomorrow morning with protein on your plate and 1 or 2 chair stands while the coffee brews. If this helped you, tap subscribe. Every week I show you how to protect your heart, your strength, and your independence after 60. In plain language your doctor rarely has time to give you. And leave that comment. Can you stand up without your hands? Then watch the video on your screen right now, where I reveal the warning signs hiding in your feet, because your legs have even more to tell you. Stay strong, my friend. I'll see you in the next one.